Hello, this is Mark in Cottonwood, Arizona, and just wanted to tell a real quick story, and then we'll get to the motor. About 4 months ago, a person contacted me and said, would like to buy a 110 from you. I sent them a contract. They sent me a signed contract back with half down. I built them a 110 horsepower engine. Never heard from them. Called them. Never heard from them. Finally, I wrote them a letter saying, look, I have completed your 110 horsepower engine, and I would like to get paid to get my other half. Then the motor can ship. Well, finally, they came up with the rest of the money, and now we are going to be putting this on a pallet, building a box around it, and then shipping it to an undisclosed destination here in the United States of America. So this motor has been stacked on its bell housing for about 2 months. And I'm thinking that most of the oil has come out of the galleys. So it's going to clatter when we fire it back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm briefly going to outline putting this on my test stand, hooking everything up, making it a running engine again, and then firing it up and making sure that it runs, that it's got good oil pressure, and then we'll take some compression readings just to make sure that nothing is failing. So that's the plan right now. So join me on this trip and we'll get at it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is basically where the engine was as I took the cover off of it. You'll notice these are pretty much the way the engines come. No rotor, no distributor, no fan. I do try to plug the ports, but this is the way the engines look. So we're going to take this engine and we're going to move it inside the shop and get some work. Okay, this is pretty much the way the engines come. You'll notice that there is no fan on it, but it has new blower bearing, new pistons, new rings, heads have been done. Always want to try to seal this stuff off. Got left head, right head. This is basically just the way a 110 comes. This is a 8-plate oil cooler unless somebody requests a 12. I can do a 12 plate. Basically, this is what you're going to get. You're not going to get any distributor cap, no wires, no fuel pump, no alternator. This does have a 5 horsepower pulley on it. If they want a rebuilt harmonic balancer, it's an additional about $300. No exhausts either side. It's basically what they call a long block engine. So we're going to get this on a stand and we're going to fire it up. Okay, well, let's just go down the line here. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to put this engine on this mount. So let's start all the way back here. This is just a basic Harbor Freight, 1.5, 2. It's a 1.5 ton engine hoist, nothing special about it. I got the arms set all the way out. So I guess theoretically you could pick up 1,500 pounds with it. I won't be lifting that much tonight. Lifting about a 300-pound Corvair engine. So just got the Corvair engine sitting on my dolly, on my hand truck. I need to get a flywheel on it so I can drive the engine with a starter. And then here is a bare bones engine test stand. Nothing to write home about. Pretty easy, pretty simple, not rocket science. I got these 2 pins here, and you'll see me using those a little bit later just to line things up as I get the motor and that 65 differential lined up. Here's a fuel pump, nothing special. I just throw 12 bolts to it. Here's the 12 volts right there. It's pretty bare bones. And I got a deep cycle battery there. That is a 65 standard differential. I had a plate built. Getting married to him. Okay, well, you can see where I'm at. That's as far forward as I can go with the engine hoist. Got the engine hoist getting ready to pull up on the engine, making sure the chain's not binding on anything. You can still see I'm pretty much all the way on the hand truck still. So I'm getting ready to lift this guy up, get a flywheel on it, and get it put onto the engine test stand. Okay, here we are. We have installed a flywheel. You look in there, there's a flywheel. Got everything torqued, ready to go. And now we are going to put this engine on this test stand here. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to put a starter on, have a couple of bolts. You'll notice the alignment pins have been used and we are good to go. Okay, here's what we got so far. We have the engine basically ready to go, ready to run outside. I have hooked up the starter as pictured here. We'll get a little bit closer view of the connections of the starter. This is my start switch setup. And the next step is for us to go ahead and fire the engine up and see what we get for oil pressure. Okay, the next step is to reverse the process, get it back on the pallet, and get it shipped off to its destination.